Iambic Pentameter by Anna Sorg. What is iambic pentameter? Iambic pentameter is a line of verse with 5 metrical feet, each consisting of one short unstressed syllable, followed by one long stressed syllable. It's like this. Before learning iambic pentameter, you weren't stressed, but now you are. Iambic pentameter, math and language. Iambic pentameter can be thought of like a math problem. 5 times 2 equals 10. Or 5 sets of 2 syllables equals 10 syllables. Each syllable follows an unstressed, stressed pattern. As far as language goes, a foot is a pair of syllables following the unstressed, stressed pattern. And the word iamb is just another word for foot. Now about the syllables. Syllables are very important in iambic pentameter. How they are stressed sets the stage for the entire line. Not all words follow an unstressed, stressed pattern, and not all sentences can be read in iambic pentameter. This video explains it a little better.
To someone first encountering the works of William Shakespeare, the language may seem strange. But there is a secret to appreciating it. Although he was famous for his plays, Shakespeare was first and foremost a poet. One of the most important things in Shakespeare's language is his use of stress. Not that kind of stress, but the way we emphasize certain syllables in words more than others. We're so used to doing this that we may not notice it at first. But if you say the words slowly, you can easily identify them. Playwright, computer, telephone. Poets are very aware of these stresses, having long experimented with the number and order of stressed and unstressed syllables and combined them in different ways to create rhythm in their poems. Like songwriters, poets often express their ideas through a recognizable repetition of these rhythms or poetic meter. And like music, poetry has its own set of terms for describing this. In a line of verse, a foot is a certain number of stressed and unstressed syllables forming a distinct unit, just as a musical measure consists of a certain number of beats. One line of verse is usually made up of several feet. For example, a dactyl is a metrical foot of 3 syllables, with the first stressed and the second and third unstressed. Dactyls can create lines that move swiftly and gather force, as in Robert Browning's poem The Lost Leader. Just for a handful of silver he left us, just for a riband to stick in his coat. Another kind of foot is the 2-syllable long trochee, a stressed syllable followed by an unstressed one. The trochees in these lines from Shakespeare's Macbeth lend an ominous and spooky tone to the witch's chant. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire, burn, and cauldron bubble. But with Shakespeare, it's all about the iamb. This 2-syllable foot is like a reverse trochee, so the first syllable is unstressed and the second is stressed, as in to be or not to be. Shakespeare's favourite metre in particular was iambic pentameter, where each line of verse is made up of 5 2-syllable iambs for a total of 10 syllables. And it's used for many of Shakespeare's most famous lines. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon. Notice how the iambs cut across both punctuation and word separation. Meter is all about sound, not spelling. Iambic pentameter may sound technical, but there's an easy way to remember what it means. The word iamb is pronounced just like the phrase I am. Now let's expand that to a sentence that just happens to be in iambic pentameter. I am a pirate with a wooden leg. The pirate can only walk in iambs, a living reminder of Shakespeare's favourite metre. Iambic pentameter is when he takes 10 steps. Our pirate friend can even help us remember how to properly mark it if we imagine the footprints he leaves walking along a deserted island beach. A curve for unstressed syllables, and a short line for stressed ones. If music be the food of love, play on. Of course, most lines of Shakespeare's plays are written in regular prose. But if you read carefully, you'll notice that Shakespeare's characters turn to poetry, and iambic pentameter in particular, for many of the same reasons that we look to poetry in our own lives. Feeling passionate, introspective, or momentous. Whether it's Hamlet pondering his existence, or Romeo professing his love, the characters switch to iambic pentameter when speaking about their emotions and their place in the world. Which leaves just one last question. Why did Shakespeare choose iambic pentameter for these moments rather than, say, trochaic hexameter or dactylic tetrameter? It's been said that iambic pentameter was easy for his actors to memorize and for the audience to understand because it's naturally suited to the English language. But there might be another reason. The next time you're in a heightened emotional situation like the ones that make Shakespeare's characters burst into verse, put your hand over the left side of your chest. What do you feel? That's your heart beating in iambs. Da-dum, 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 da-dum. Shakespeare's most poetic lines don't just talk about matters of the heart, they follow its rhythm.
What about blank verse? Blank verse is a type of iambic pentameter written with regular metrical, but is always in unrhymed lines. It is also called heroic verse, and it has been used by many famous writers, including Shakespeare, John Milton, William Wordsworth, W.B. Yeats, and Robert Frost. What does it look like? As you can see, we have the curved line followed by the short line to represent which syllables are stressed and which ones are unstressed. Remember, the curved line is unstressed and the short line is stressed. Why iambic pentameter? The pattern of iambic pentameter is most closely resembles human speech. Learning about the flow and meter of Shakespeare's plays helps us understand the emotions of the play and the way it was meant to be read or performed. And the natural da-dum rhythm of iambic pentameter makes the lines read similar to a song, which helps actors memorize the lines and make them stick in their brains. Naturally iambic words. Some naturally iambic words are words like annoy, recall, deny, around, alarm, attempt, compare, or the phrase the dog. Iambic sentences. Here I've pulled a couple sentences from some Shakespearean plays. The first one is from Romeo and Juliet, and the second one is from the play Julius Caesar. As you can see, I've bolded the syllables that would be stressed and left the syllables that are unstressed as plain text. So the line from Shakespeare or from Romeo and Juliet would read, "I pray thee, good Mercutio, let's retire. The day is hot, the Capulets abroad, and if we meet, we shall not 'scape a brawl." The line from Julius Caesar would read in the same type of pattern, with the first syllable unstressed and the second syllable stressed. The dream is all amiss, interpreted. It was a vision fair and fortunate. As you can see, sometimes a foot falls in the center of a word. The word fortunate starts in one foot and ends in another. And that's it for this recording.